Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Whiskey Babble. Sponsors, let's get the sponsors out of the way first. Matt.
Jake.
How's it going?
It's going great.
It's good to see you, man.
Thanks, man.
Hey, so I got this script in front of me, right? But
yeah,
there's a problem with this script.
Oh, God,
And I think you know what the problem is.
Could it be that you don't know how to read it?
I don't know how to read it because I can't read.
Good news is there's an answer for you, Jake.
Oh, well, let me see. I've been working on my reading. Let me see if I can do this, okay?
Okay.
But what's your answer first? Let me hear your answer.
Well, see, what you could do is you can go to audible.com, and there are over 180,000 different spoken word products that you can listen to.
Really?
Yeah.
Just like that?
No letters involved.
No letters involved at all?
No letters involved.
Well,
I mean, there are some letters when, you try to find something, but you probably have your mom do that for you.
All right, guys. So Audible is offering our listeners a free audiobook of your choice and a free 30-day trial membership, okay? You just got to go to audibletrial.com/whiskeybabble, and you can choose from over 180,000 audio programs. Download a title for free and start listening. Guys, it's that easy. Go to audibletrial.com/whiskeybabble. I like how it's spelt out there for me.
They send that to me.
It's spelt out. So because I'm like you can talk into the mic. You don't have to hide it.
No.
He's not allowed to talk.
I was observing.
I was kidding.
That's
so that's audibletrial.com/whiskeybabble to get started today.
They sent it to me like that.
Really?
Yes.
Okay, we're also brought to you guys. Okay, now listen up, all you shitheads out there. I know that it's pronounced Mamute Jiu Jitsu. I know that. Here's why, Matt. We had some complaints.
Okay.
And from our actual listeners. We have listeners.
Really?
But some listeners that were telling me, because I was saying Mamute, because I feel like that's easier for the listener.
Phonetically, for people trying to find the website.
Yes, trying to find the website. Mamute. Right. I know it's pronounced Mamute, people. You don't have to tell me that.
Say it slower.
Mamute. It's Portuguese.
Huh.
And it's Mammoth, which is
right.
Bruno, the head instructor. Anyways, so Mamute Jiu Jitsu, or Mamute if you want to spell it phonetically, MAMUTEBJJ.com. You guys can go check it out. Show up. Bruno will give you a free week to try it out. Mention Whiskey Babble. He'll give you the free week to try it out. And you give it a whirl. You guys will love it. It's great exercise. It's great self-defense. Matt's going to come and try a class soon. We might get our guest Rick over here to try a class. And why are you making that face?
The Phantom.
Is it bad?
No, whatever.
What's going on? Are we still talking?
Yeah, we're still talking.
I thought it added to the audio last time. Hello, welcome to Whiskey Babble. There's an audio thing that we had last time. They're like halfway through. Anyways, so Whiskey Babble, Bruno Mamute, whisper it. Mention it when you go into the academy and get a free week trial. Okay, whisper it to him gently in his ear. Kiss his neck. Also, guys, we have a lot of new merchandise on the website. Go check it out. We have flasks, we have shot glasses, we have shirts, sweatshirts. We have a lot of great things. It's whiskeybabble.com. We also have facebook.com/whiskeybabble if you guys want to go give us a like. youtube.com/whiskeybabble. And then also, we have a Twitter at whiskeybabble.
Yep.
Guys, check it out. I
think we have 13 followers on Twitter.
13's better than 0. And here's what's going on, guys. I feel like Matt's been kind of running the show, but I love him for it. But I feel like I need to step it up more. So you might be seeing some tweets and stuff from me coming out now. I know, right? Yay. Does your back hurt from carrying the team? So.
Hey, just doing what I can.
So also, I'm going to bring this up. I don't know if I should. Matt might get mad at me now. But what's your new side project? Let me hear about that.
Oh, yeah. So I've been asked to produce a second podcast, which is called Growler Garage. Basically, it's an automotive-based podcast. Talk about lots of racing, that kind of stuff.
Patrick is actually the host. He was our go-kart guest.
Yes.
Great guest, actually. And I always thought he'd make a good host. So
yeah, he came to me with the idea, and I said, let's do it. So we're going to start shooting the end of this month. So mid-July. Should have an episode out, I think.
Cool.
I have to check that out.
So that's gonna be a good one too.
GrowlerGarage.net, Facebook.com/GrowlerGaragePodcast. Yeah, give us a like, check it out, and should be fun.
Cool. All right, guys, Whiskey Babble.
tuned to Whiskey Babble.
All right, guys. Tonight's guest is Rick. Hi, Rick.
Hey, Rick.
You're talking to the mic.
Hi, Jake.
No whispering. Speak louder.
Something I should have gone over you with before the show was that if I ask you a question or something like that, you have to talk.
Well, yeah, I'm a little slow to respond sometimes. Even in, non-microphone being recorded could get fired sort of situations.
Yeah, so Rick works for a great company, Tesla, and I've been told that there's certain things I can talk about, certain things I can't talk about, just like every business. So I'm going to try to keep it as respectful as possible because I actually respect Tesla. I'm not here to badmouth it or anything like that, and that's not the point of the show. So we're going to ask him some questions. We're going to hopefully learn. We're going to learn about him. That's the whole point of the show, interview, everyday Joes and kind of figure out what's going on. Tonight's whiskey is H. Walker & Sons Moonshine. Now, this was a bachelor present to me from producer Matt. Matt, hello.
Hey.
He's worried about the audio over here, guys. So
yeah.
So he's kind of focused on that. But you'll be hearing from him. Okay. Should I read the back of it like I always do?
Yeah, go for it.
During Prohibition, Hiram Walker's smooth liqueur attracted some of America's most infamous bootleggers. Today, H. Walker & Sons brings back blends which once infiltrated speakeasies and nightclubs. This moonshine is distilled from the finest American wheat, yielding a distinctly smooth finish. Let the good times roll again.
It is distinctly smooth.
America.
Very
Isn't it
smooth.
good? It's got like
it's
almost like I want to say like a fruity aftertaste, but it's not fruity if that makes sense.
I'll let you know
it's
in a minute.
sweet.
It's smooth. Make sure you have the label out when you drink too.
Yeah, you got to have the label out. It's right there. Put it up. Just like that. Okay, so Rick, how's it going, man?
Good. Very good.
Okay, so Rick and I, a little backstory. Rick and I used to work together. We no longer do. A better opportunity came up, which way better. Which happens in life sometimes. So Rick decided to move on to bigger and better things, which is what you'd hope everybody would do. And hold on, I'm starting my timer here. And I'm getting over a cold, guys, so I might have a little bit of a cough occasionally, just so everybody knows. But excuse me.
Told you not to.
Yeah,
hey,
why don't you just cough right into that microphone?
I leaned away. Did I not lean away?
You did.
I leaned away. Whatever, dude.
But I saw him flinch, so.
Yeah, so it's not loud.
Maybe
We have to put those levels down a little bit, and we'll fix it in post. So since we worked together, tell me, you got married,
I did.
and you have a baby now,
Yeah.
a baby girl.
Yeah.
right?
She came with the marriage, which was cool.
She came with the marriage.
No, not really. It totally wasn't like that. I might get more than fired just for doing this.
If your wife listens, you're
I'm
gonna
gonna get fired from the marriage.
get fired
No.
from my marriage.
Yeah. Got married. Had a beautiful baby.
Nice. Yeah, so Rick and I, we worked together, and Rick and I kind of instantly clicked because of our love for Fast and Furious. That was our.
That's a heavily quoted movie on
It
the
seems to
show.
be like an underlying theme for all of our shows.
Don't even get me started
Fast
on
and
it
Furious.
either.
Something wrong with these cars.
Don't. I'm
They
not.
got no engines, do they?
I'm gonna spend this entire time quoting that movie. I'm
No,
gonna
let
try
it go,
and break
man.
the mold, or maybe I'll
you feel like
quote
it,
one
go
of the
with it.
one of the later movies.
I'm pretty sure I just quoted
You know?
the first one.
No, I mean later. That means newest, right?
Oh, one of the newer movies?
One
I
of the
haven't seen
newer
7
Fast
yet, so
movies.
don't spoil it.
It was good.
It was good.
It was good.
Yeah, I heard it was pretty good.
I tried to illegally stream it, but it was a bad copy, so them's the laws, I guess. Okay, so I started using this notebook here, so you're going to see me checking off questions that I ask you. So, family check. Okay, so tell me about your bike you rolled in on. You were kind of mentioning it earlier.
It's a 2015 Yamaha FZ07. In Europe, it's a MT07 or MT07. It's kind of a hooligan machine, at least with me on it. So.
Well, this is Matt's world, so because I think.
Not street bikes, man.
But you trial and stuff, right? Or
Trial?
no, not trial, but like, don't you mountain like dirt bike? I mean.
No. I mean, occasionally. I don't own any dirt
I thought
products
you
or
used to-
anything like that. No.
I thought you owned like some toys.
I borrow things.
I borrow things from time to time. Well, that's what Matt's really into. Matt does a lot of dirt biking.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So-
Cool. Yeah. I
Well,
rode a street
not
bike
a
in
lot
the dirt.
anymore, but
Well, I got married and had a kid and got a home and like life sucks. But I mean, I used to
Okay,
be able
it
to
used
dirt
to be
bike.
cool.
It used to be cool.
I used to be able to do the things I wanted to do, but Oh, well.
You better hope Camille doesn't hear that one.
No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding, babe.
I'm kidding, babe. I love you.
Love you, mean it.
I mean it forever.
I know how that goes.
My wife's at Disneyland right now, so I can't.
Must be nice.
I know, right? Well, what happened was I woke up to we spent wedding money, and we bought this nice rug for our apartment, right? Nice rug. I'm like, oh, sweet. I love this rug. It's a great rug. Brightens up the room, makes the room a little bit more
Does it
warm.
really tie the room together?
It really does. Pulls it. It's really feng shui, I guess, is the correct vernacular. But yeah, it's a great rug. And about 2 weeks ago, I walk out to piles of puke on it from our dogs, and I'm like, oh,
it's
great,
like inevitable.
Yeah. So we clean it up or whatever. It's great. And then I walk out today. This morning, I'm getting ready. I wake up. It's going to be a great day, going to work. I walk out. Huge pile of poop and puke, both of them on the rug.
Oh, yeah.
So it was kind of a rough day because she was freaking out, about the dogs, which is they're her
Dogs
babies.
have a funny way of doing that. Like our dogs kind of did a similar thing when we had our little flooding incident at the house.
I never heard that story. Tell it real quick.
So one day before our first mortgage payment is due, my wife at the time was...
Your wife at the time?
6 months pregnant.
Oh, okay.
So...
This was my previous wife.
Different wife.
This wasn't the new wife.
Third one.
My wife at the time.
My first ex-wife.
But my current wife.
Just kidding. Just kidding. No. So yeah, it was. She was like 6 months pregnant at the time. One day before our first payment's due, she's doing some laundry, and she turns. We have a sink in our laundry room. She turns the sink on and puts the stopper in to put some water in it to soak a shirt to get a stain out. So she walks away from the sink.
There you go.
This is the only sink in the house that doesn't have overflow protection.
There it is.
So,
is it one of those like big plastic bucket
big
kind of things?
Metal basin sink.
Yeah.
So, probably an hour and a half goes by, and she walks into the kitchen, and there's water on the floor, and she's like, "What the heck?" She thought one of the dogs had pissed on the floor or something. So I come in and I'm looking, and I look, and it's coming from like underneath the wall. So I walk around the corner, and the carpet is just soaked. I walk into the laundry room. There's an inch of water on the ground.
Oh.
And the way our house is situated, the bottom floor of the laundry room is basically smack dab in the middle of our house. So the water just went all through like every corner of the bottom floor of the house.
They said we didn't need flood insurance in California.
So yeah, basically 1 day before our first mortgage payment, we're having already used our homeowner's insurance.
Oh, dude.
Oh my God. So
horrible.
they came in, they tore up all the carpet, tore up all the baseboards, had these big fan dryers in there for a week, drying out the carpet and drying out the drywall and everything. So they replaced the padding, not the carpet. They cleaned the carpet, new baseboards, painted the whole downstairs. It was a hassle. Huge hassle. But anyway, where I was going with that
dogs
is after that happened and after they had cleaned the carpet, the dogs started pissing on the carpet.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Why
We had
wouldn't
been
they?
in the house for almost a month and a half. Not once did they piss in the house. Clean the carpet, piss in the house.
Well, my thing is, I think that because we've been putting this like fresh breath, my little Freudian slip there, fresh breast. Fresh breast. We've been putting this fresh breath stuff in their water,
Right.
so when they drink it, it makes their, and I think that's what, and then so I Googled it, and I saw like every fourth review was like, made my dog violently ill. Like, it was like every fourth review was like, made my dog super sick, and I was like, okay, babe, maybe we should stop doing this.
Red flag, maybe.
Red flag. So
Is
we
it,
stopped
is
doing
it green?
Yes.
Stuff? Oh, I would think we have the same stuff.
Yeah. So
I just the nature of what you're saying, just spraying something into your dog's water to freshen their breath sounds like a terrible idea. So
I just feed him Altoids, like.
I used to give my dog like a bone thing that would freshen her breath, and that worked excellent.
Well, see,
But,
ours are-
something you
ours are
that just sounds
dachshunds.
like Mexico.
They're
Bad
wiener
idea.
dogs.
Like, don't drink the water.
Ours are wiener dogs though, so like big bones, like they can like choke on them. Big bones, big bones will choke your wiener. Like. So
Horrible. That was horrible.
I know that was a bad joke. So okay, back to the topic here. Work for Tesla, and you were just explaining to me before. What were you telling me about? It's the #1 car dealer in Europe, or what's the deal going on there?
It is. This was as of a few months ago. I could be totally off on this now, but it was the #1 selling car or sedan in Europe, all of
Really?
Europe, the whole thing.
Now, do you have any type of fact-based? Because Rick works on the cars, so he has more of like a technical aspect of what's going on, not really like a sales aspect of what's going on. And I don't
me
mean
turn wrench, me make money.
Well,
that's pretty much what it is.
Was I saying that in a negative way at all? I wasn't saying that in a negative way at all, man.
I think he was being respectful.
I did it myself.
Rick's an engineer for Tesla. He works on the cars.
Definitely not an engineer.
But so number one selling cars in Europe, in sedan in Europe. What's like and I'm gonna be asking you questions that I've had about Tesla for like an uneducated person that knows nothing about what they are. So what's like the life of a Tesla car? Or can you not answer that?
The life. So are you saying like, in a sense, like Cars movie, like how well does the Tesla live its life in California, or
no,
like
dude. I mean,
the life of owning one?
Okay, like it's common knowledge. So I'm not saying anything, but like if you Google Toyota Prius or you Google like Chevy Volt or whatever, the battery life. I guess that's what I'm asking. What's
so like the lifespan?
Yeah, what's like the lifespan? Not its day-to-day interactions with other motor
I
vehicles.
think it's treated pretty well. Garage, adult owned.
They're generally happy.
Let's see. I think, if I remember correctly, the battery, if treated well, should last about 10 years.
How do you mistreat a battery?
But overcharging.
Well,
running it too long on a low charge.
Yeah, well, you can't necessarily overcharge. There's, there's safety features that'll prevent that from happening.
Stupid.
But your charge basically, okay, so your 85 kilowatt hour, you have 245 85 kilowatt hour battery. So it's it's just called the 85, the Model S 85.
I'm gonna talk to you about that, but keep going.
Your max range is on a full charge, I think 240 miles or 245. But they don't want you charging to absolute full charge every day over and over and over and over. That can take some life out of the battery. So what they have is you can set charge limits with your vehicle.
Oh shit.
So you can go to they call it your daily setting. So your daily setting is around your max daily
what a
setting.
time to be alive.
I think like 185 miles.
Okay.
So you're charging to like 80% or something like that, and then fully charge to 80%. And then if you go on a trip, then it's totally cool. It's not going to ruin the car. It's made to do that. But so if you're nice to the car, you don't, beat on it and constantly run it down to 0 miles and charge it back up full charge, and maybe you'll get 8 years out of it if you beat it like that. But the batteries are expensive, so
I'm sure.
Once that warranty runs out.
What percentage of the car cost is the battery?
I believe it's about 25,000
for the battery.
When
oh my God.
I was reading online about like Toyota deals and other kind of dealership deals and stuff like that, and I read online that the RAV4 EVs, that those actually have Tesla drivetrains in them.
Huh.
So it's a Toyota RAV4, and you pop the hood and it says Tesla under it. And I was reading about how a dealership, the drivetrain went bad. It was under warranty. It was like making a humming noise or whatever. $25,000 to replace that drivetrain.
Oh my God.
And
that's crazy, man.
Yeah, it's insane.
On a RAV4, that's like half the cost.
It's more than half the cost.
Yeah.
RAV4. Well, no, because they were selling the EVs for like I think like $50,000 or something like that.
I don't know. I never looked into that. I do really like the RAV4 EVs though. They're kind of cool.
They're fast.
It sucks that it's front wheel drive, but it's the same drivetrain as a Model S.
I knew that.
It's just heavily detuned.
Well, yeah.
And they're fast, but Model S is scary compared to
Well,
that.
my question for you is, now I was on the website today, Tesla.com or whatever.
Doing research.
I was doing
TeslaMotors.com.
research. Yeah, I was doing research. Oh, see, he's dropping it. It's good advertisement.
Name drop.
So, but I was reading online, so there's the Model S, but then there's like 5 different models under the Model S, right?
Yeah, there's submodels.
And what are those?
There's different submodels. It's all the exact same car, body-wise, looks-wise, nothing really
So
changes.
like a Porsche almost, like.
No, because if I'm if my knowledge serves me correctly, Porsche has like a different model name for like everything. Like change the wheels and it's not a 911 anymore. It's something else, but I could be wrong about that. Anyways,
there's like submodels of the 911.
Well,
there's
turbo, the 4S, and
regular
S,
S,
right? Regular, yeah.
911S.
So there's the 70D, which is a 70 kilowatt hour battery. It is dual motor. It's all-wheel drive.
I had a note about dual motors. I'll talk to you that later.
They're fun.
Keep going.
There's the 85D, and then the
you 85D.
and then there's the P85D, which is,
like, that's the one.
The car, it's
top of the line and
top of the line, runs about 130 grand.
Good God.
And will outrun just about anything up to about 80.
Cannot run a bullet.
Okay, so what now I know like enough about cars to get by. I've talked about this on the podcast before, but there's something about the electric vehicles taking off at acceleration, because there's something with like not zero torque, but what's the rule, like if you were putting an electric vehicle against like a gas vehicle, there's something with the engine why they're so much quicker.
You make 100% torque right off the bat.
Yeah.
So your gas engine, if you see somebody post up dyno results or something on their Prius C, they're gonna be like, oh, I made like 110 horsepower at 2,600 RPMs, meaning like the engine made its max amount of torque at a certain RPM, meaning the engine had to rev up to that to get its full torque. So you've got 100% torque the second you touch that pedal, which is
insane.
Scary.
Yeah,
it's insane.
Because I've driven an EV before, and just to mess around, I like put the pedal to the metal, and it's scary.
Yeah.
Because the speedometer almost goes faster than the car's actually going. So like the speedometer goes like up to like 70, but the car's only going like 20 because it's trying to get to that speed, but the engine's going 70.
Right.
But it's insane, man.
That's funny that they have the speed sensor in the motor, not in the wheels or the transmission.
At least on the Tesla, I know. Well, it's all one piece. The motor, the differential, it's all in one piece. There's no transmission. It's just one gear.
Like Priuses don't have a transmission,
but
they have a transaxle.
It's the same thing.
Same thing. Yeah, it's the acceleration of an electric vehicle is scary. It's really fun for me giving somebody a ride that hasn't been in the car before. Especially in the P85D, if somebody's not paying attention and you mash it, you can get their head to smack into the headrest of their seat, and you get like a really quick oh shit moment out of their face, and it's priceless. It's priceless.
You gotta throw a GoPro in the car when you do that.
Yeah, it's almost worth it. There's one guy, I can't remember his name. He's got a YouTube channel. I believe he's bought a few of them. He's actually going for like the world record of drag times for electric cars or something.
Interesting. I didn't
with
know
a
that was a
P85D. But he's got reaction videos on his YouTube channel.
It scares you. When I floored it, it scared me. The feeling of what was to come.
Too much for you to handle, Jake.
Hey, so switching over to an electric vehicle from a gasoline powered vehicle. What did you have to pick up from like a technician standpoint? Did you have to really kind of learn computers and learn how to work with computers, and like can you fry yourself working on one of those things? Like,
oh yeah,
yeah, really.
There's a lot of safety awareness training that
Touch
you
a
have to go
screwdriver
through.
to the wrong thing, and you're
things like that. You have to use a lot of high voltage tools, like screwdrivers that are just 100% orange, and it's meant to be around high voltage equipment.
Yeah,
things
they're
like
insulated and shielded and all that stuff.
Yeah,
interesting.
I've got like my own special set of rubber gloves that also have their own special set of leather gloves that go over that. If we're servicing a battery, there's a little ground clip, alligator clip kind of thing with a wire attached to it. So you clip the alligator clip to the battery and then wrap a little strip around your wrist.
It's called an ESD bracelet.
There you go. You know
Tell
more
me
than
about
I
it.
do about my own
Tell me
company.
about it.
Electrical engineer.
Tell me about it.
Well,
sense.
basically, in the
Tell me about
electronics
it.
world, an ESD.
Tell me about it.
Tell me about it.
Want me to tell you about it?
Tell him about
Can
it.
I tell you about it?
Yeah.
So in the electronics world, an ESD bracelet is meant as a safety precaution so you don't fry the electronics, because humans carry an electric charge. Like the same thing, like if you scoot your feet across the carpet and then you touch metal and you see an arc, that's called ESD, or electrostatic discharge. So the point of wearing that bracelet is it grounds yourself so that it takes the charge out of your body, so you won't touch a piece of electronics and fry that particular piece of electronics.
Huh.
In this case, it's so that the electronics don't fry you.
Interesting.
Because you're grounding yourself to it, so it's a common
So electricity will
ground.
just go through you.
Yeah.
Is that like why they say, like, if you feel like you're gonna get struck by lightning, you like stick your ass in the air, so that if the electricity hits you, it travels just through your ass, through your legs, and it doesn't hit like any vital
because
organs?
it takes the path of least resistance.
Interesting.
And you might enjoy it.
And it might enjoy it.
It might tickle a little bit.
Don't you threaten me with a good time? It's funny because electricity was this guy I knew in prison.
Excellent.
What I was gonna, because I saw this video talking about the batteries. Now, do you guys remind me to come back to the video and I don't lose this thought? All right, Matt. But when you guys are working with the batteries, is there a repair or is the battery just swapped out?
Depends.
Because I know some car companies, there's no repair. You swap it out. It gets a new battery.
Typically, yeah.
It's a slightly, well, it's a very different design from your conventional car battery. It's a hell of a lot bigger. But there's certain internal components that can be replaced. So
there's a lot of like circuitry and stuff.
Yeah, there's a lot of
internal to the
circuitry.
battery, yeah. It's completely different than a normal car battery.
Yeah.
Chemistry is completely different too.
The BMS, the battery management system,
What?
is on the battery. So that's part of the circuitry that you're, dealing with and avoiding.
Those batteries
shocking
are
and frying.
lithium batteries?
Lithium ion, yeah.
See, this is what I was stoked to have you guys on, because I like engaging Matt, and I feel like Matt's going to be able to talk to you more about this stuff than I will.
He might know more than I do.
Really?
I mean, me turn wrench.
Me
Me
turn
make
wrench.
money.
Me make car fix work. Like, car work.
Me
good fix.
drive car.
So, anyway.
I live my life a quarter mile at a time.
There it is. I need NOS.
I had to. I had to.
Now, can you, can people tune these engines? Like,
No.
can you, what you got.
Yeah, I mean, if
There's not really
Joe
tuning
Schmo can buy a
involved,
Model
right?
S and then crack into it and, change anything.
So it's too advanced for an average person to kind of get in there and mess around
no.
with.
Because it's
just
firmware at this point. It's not actually
Yeah.
like turn
That's
the
what-
screw.
Well, that's what I meant. Can you like hook up and like if you're an electrical engineer and you know coding and stuff, can you hook up a computer, and program it so you get more horsepower out, or you
most likely no. It's most likely encrypted heavily.
Yeah, it's a, they're very secretive about a lot of internal stuff. So
I thought he made it public record, didn't he? Didn't he make it open source?
maybe the
don't
older
know.
model.
I thought he made the Model S open
not
source.
sure.
Elon Musk.
I don't know.
I'm not sure.
Sorry.
It's one thing I don't know.
Sorry for reading. Like,
Sorry for being well informed.
sorry for being well informed, guys. So what I was gonna say was on Imager. You use Imager, don't you? Or Reddit, right? You're a Reddit guy. Or were you neither?
I've never heard of Imager, and I've gone on Reddit every once in a while when it pops up on one of my Google
Oh, wow,
searches.
I'm a
I
Imager is
Google a
alive
lot of
because
stuff.
of Reddit.
Imager is basically like the Reddit of pictures. So instead of posting text, they post photos.
You
They
mean
say-
like
Imager.
Imgur?
Yes,
Yeah.
there we go.
Okay, yeah, I've heard
now
of that.
he
I've heard of
knows.
that.
Now he knows.
I don't. Yeah, see, this is how I don't
Imager.
know. Imgur.
Imgur. So, anyways, I saw a thing and it was a step-by-step photo of
And
this
that's
guy,
stupid.
right? He had a 2007 hybrid Camry, right? So it's got a battery in it.
Right.
And he goes, yeah, so he took a picture of it, and he's like, it's throwing a master warning light, and it's telling me that my battery's dead, you know what I mean, or whatever. And he was out of the warranty by mileage, not by time.
Right.
This was according to the post. I don't know anything about warranties on Toyotas, but it was about time, he was out by mileage, not time.
Okay.
And so he calls up the dealership and tells them what's going on. And they tell him, yeah, it's going to be $4,000 to replace it. Well, this guy was an electrical engineer. And he goes, $4,000. He goes, so no, this is a true story. So he had a step-by-step pictures, the coolest thing I've ever seen. So he drops the battery out, which weighs what, 400, 500 pounds?
The Camry battery, I think, is a little bit bigger than the Prius battery, so I think 350, 400.
Yeah, so he drops the battery out, brings it over, right? And he takes off the case on the battery or whatever, and he's got the cells in it, right? And all the cells just had gunk on them. So he removed each cell, cleaned off the gunk. Yeah, cleaned off the
fantastic.
gunk, put the cells back in, put the cover back in, put the battery back in his car, and he showed a picture. He's like, turned it on. He's like, no more check engine light.
Hell yeah.
Like,
That's awesome.
He's like, now is it worth the average Joe to do the labor that was involved? He was like, maybe not. But he goes, I just wanted to kind of prove it to myself that I could, fix this problem. But who knows?
I wonder how much extra life he got out of the battery.
Who knows?
Yeah.
But it's brilliant.
More power to him. That's awesome.
Because, I mean, at a certain point, the cells will cease to function. That's just batteries.
Yeah. It's life.
Nature of the beast.
Now, I was reading online that there's, the computers in the Teslas are, like, so far advanced that they're able to be updated for, like, the next 10 years for information that's coming out. You know, does that make sense to you?
Yeah.
So like, the computer is so advanced that in 5 years, if they have some type of technology that does this, that they can actually update that computer with this advanced technology from a car 5 years old.
And over the air.
It's going to be Wi-Fi? All the updates are Wi-Fi?
Not all of them,
Bluetooth
but if a car comes into the service center, it's part of our
updating itself as soon as you pull into a Tesla
not like
shop.
that. It's part of our courtesy inspection. That's what they call it. To upgrade the car to the latest firmware.
How often does that come out?
It really varies.
It varies just like cell phone updates.
Just like any sort of software you get, like an update for your phone or anything like that. And there's bug fixes and things like that.
I was just going to ask that. Do these updates fix, like, error message when doing this? And
yeah. I mean, no computers without its bugs, or no softwares without its bugs. But you can't really tell how often the firmwares are going to come out. They just put them out there. But
do they send letters to the owners like, hey, new firmware?
No.
I'm sure if it was like some major safety fix, then they would. But
yeah.
So the car still functions fine. It's just, this is just a little tweak to the software.
What it does is, so every Model S has its own 3G. It's all provided by AT&T for, I think, the first, 2 to 4 years of something like that.
That's badass.
It's free.
Well, so it acts as
your
its own
car has
hotspot.
3G. You have, it doesn't. I don't think it has hotspot capabilities. Actually, I'm pretty sure it does not have it.
Yeah. That'll be next because Chevy just did it, right?
I think so.
Yeah.
I saw a commercial.
Wait till it flies to your front door, then it'll have Wi-Fi capability.
But so they're all 3G. So and if you connect it to the Wi-Fi at your house, it'll connect automatically as soon as you pull up.
That's so rad.
So since it's kind of on the network at all times, when a new firmware comes out, it'll just load to your car.
What? But isn't that
you go to start your car in the morning? Please wait.
Well, I feel like that. I feel like
firmware.
No. I personally, I feel like that could have like implications, like with people like NSA type people, like, oh, my car's always watching me. My car's always connected. Now it's getting to cars watching you.
Well, I mean,
then don't buy that car.
It's good.
Well, no, I agree with you. I'm just saying I'm just talking, dude.
No, I know, and that's
like,
and I'm just saying if that would be the logical response, don't buy that car.
Yeah.
This is America.
Like,
you can buy what you want.
Get the
If you
hell
want
out.
those features,
if you don't like
this is
it,
America.
Get the hell
if you
out.
want those features, then the NSA is going to be staring at your butthole.
There you go. Right, done deal. Now, what about that tablet screen? Now, does that because I've walked by Teslas and I've seen it. I'm like, that fool's got an iPad as his dash, like
iPad.
But what is it? Does that? Can you like stream video on that thing or no?
No video. You have full internet. Well, they say full internet surfing capabilities, but you can't watch videos. YouTube, I don't think works. I've never tried it though.
Probably blocked because of safety.
Yeah,
it's a distraction.
I would think it would be more blocked though, because I can be driving down the road at 80 miles an hour and Google whatever the hell I want.
But see, that's my question about that too. Is like that's why I was asking about like software updates, because I was thinking, or the average Joe going in there. I was like, I'm surprised somebody hasn't gone in there and figured out, because it's an LCD screen. Somebody hasn't figured out how to run whatever a DVD, a Blu-ray player on that thing or something like that.
Sure,
you know, that's
ways.
what I. But people aren't buying these cars to do that with, is what you're saying.
There could be somebody trying to do it. I don't think, unless you were to break it open and add your own hardware to it, there's no way to add in something external unless you're doing it via a USB device.
Now, what does Tesla work with? Any do you guys have any outside vendors, or is it all strictly Tesla? Like, do you guys have a company that'll put wings on it? Not wings, but spoilers. Or
like aftermarket?
Yeah.
sort
Do you
of
guys
stuff?
have aftermarket companies that you work with?
There are a couple aftermarket companies that make exterior parts, sort of less tasteful exterior parts. But as for, parts that you can buy for the car to change the look and everything like that, no. It's just what you buy is what you get.
What you buy is what you get.
Yeah.
I think though at that point, like, you're spending that much on a car, you're not in that stage of life.
Why? People
Or you
buy.
want to buy a wing for
Well,
your
dude,
car.
people-
I want a park bench in the back of this
No,
thing.
people buy $500,000 Lamborghinis and do that to them. That's
Yeah, but they have gold chains on their necks and things like that.
that's a stereotype, and I don't like that on this show.
Not necessarily. If I could afford a gold chain, I might actually be wearing one right now.
I'm just gonna say real talk. So, do you know anything? I just saw this, and truthfully, I don't know anything about it. Maybe Matt knows something about it. Maybe you do. What exactly is the SpaceX program? Do you know? Like, do they talk about that kind of stuff around the shop? Like, what's going on with Tesla, or is it?
Not necessarily. I mean, we all were sort of on the internal site, so we can see news updates about the other company. But I think it's more of a sister company where we don't really, we don't like talk to them and get information from them, and vice versa. I think it's really just on like a subject basis, I guess. If they need to know something, they'll ask.
Are the two companies publicly traded?
Tesla is. I'm not sure about SpaceX.
What is SpaceX?
So SpaceX is it's a privately funded aerospace company.
Isn't NASA privately funded now, though?
No.
No, it's government funded.
No, it's still government funded.
I'm gonna have to strongly disagree with you
Maybe
guys,
not.
but keep talking
I don't
about
know.
it.
Basically, it's like any other aerospace company out there, Boeing, Northrop Grumman, that kind of stuff, but their specific focus is rocketry and space flight, that kind of stuff.
And they're doing very good at it
So
far.
What they're trying to do is basically replace the space shuttle, make a reusable spacecraft, which that's what the Falcon is. It's not like flying its own, but it's a reusable spacecraft.
Have you seen the landing videos and stuff of it landing on its own?
The rocket that lands itself.
Yeah.
I haven't seen any of this.
Launches and lands by itself.
It's getting crazy, man.
Like-
I'm telling
like
you, we're
the
getting
like a
closer and
rocket,
closer
like-
to Skynet, bro. I'm telling you,
a
man.
rocket, like a tube, flies up and then it lands itself and balances and lands on its butt and doesn't fall over.
I brushed my teeth and walked 10 feet while I was doing it today, so
I can't do that. I can't even brush my teeth without like gagging.
I'll tell you what.
I'll tell you what.
So what? So Tesla's kind of taking that new approach, and I'm assuming it's got to be like a money thing. But and I don't mean that in a negative way, but they're taking that new approach to like there's like zero dealer interaction, right? You can buy your car online, put all the accessories you want on it online, and it shows up at your house the next day. Do all the financing online and everything, right?
I don't know about delivering it to your door. I'm
That's
sure
just
they
an
would do
exaggeration,
that.
but you know what I mean. Like,
Yeah, essentially you configure your car on the website.
The Amazon drone drops it off at your house.
It's totally like digital, so you can see the car that you're gonna get. What color wheels, what color car, what color interior trim, and things like that. And then you go to the delivery center, and they run you through, I think, like an hour and a half long process where they show you everything about the car, and then you drive off. There's no dealer thing where they sit you down and
try to sell it to you,
Yeah.
and
So we're gonna give you these options,
But
that
can
you
you
can't
do that?
take off, but you have to pay for it.
can you do that?
No.
Can you go into a dealer and sit down?
Well, if it's a used Model S,
that's one of my questions. What's the resale value like on those things? Are they?
I'm not sure. I read somewhere recently that some of the cars, if not all the cars, are actually getting a guaranteed resale value to where when you're done with this one, you can trade it in for an agreed price, and they'll give you that much towards a new one.
Like ahead of time, they'll tell you what the price
Yeah.
is. So you buy this for 50, and if as long as you keep it under X amount of miles or whatever, when you bring it back to us, we'll give you 30 for it.
Yeah, I'm not even sure mileage.
I'm just guessing.
Is a
Are you not even sure that that's
stipulation.
a prerequisite? Wow.
Yeah, I think it's sort of, it's not gonna be as close as what you paid for it, but say you pay
better than
like
nothing.
120, they'll, we'll give you 65 when you're done with this or something like that.
Well, 65 towards a new one is still good, though. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? Like, you
it's
want
a
another
it's a decent
120.
down payment.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you want a new one.
half is a decent down payment. I'd say so.
Now, do you think it's going towards? I've been saying this for a while, but I feel like the whole service aspect of a dealership is kind of going the way of the dodo, because, like, I feel the way the cars are getting now. What's left to do on the car? A computer update and a tire rotation.
Yeah.
There's no oil change.
Yeah.
Is there transmission fluid?
Yeah. Well, it's it's within the drive unit.
But it's a sealed transmission, so it doesn't need to be changed.
It's not sealed. I believe the duration is 12 years or 120,000 miles, something like that.
Okay.
That's, I think for most of the cars is like well over what.
What's the highest
customers will
mileage
have it.
you've seen?
I think like 90,000 miles.
The most you've ever seen on
Most
one?
I've ever seen. I've been told at the factory they have a test car that has over 250 on it, but I've never seen or heard from somebody at the factory that it's there. I just heard from one of my coworkers.
These are the Tesla rumors that people whisper
Yeah.
in the back.
I
Yeah,
do this over there.
I heard that there's one that.
I hear there's doves everywhere Elon Musk goes.
So do you feel it's going in that direction? I mean, will they just have to keep one guy on staff to do tire rotations all day? The car's going to drive in. It's going to update itself. You're good to go there. And
We
then
have one of those guys. We call him Bloodbath. But no, there's
call
a few
it bloodbath.
some mistakes happen, and he happened to get covered in transmission fluid. So
Oh,
okay.
Bloodbath.
Transmission fluid's red, Jake.
I know what color transmission fluid is. Thank you.
Marines call it cherry juice.
Well, it depends. Are you looking at world standard? Are you looking at ATS? What? Because ATS is green. So I don't know what kind of transmission fluid you're
Your
looking
name's
at.
dropping, bro.
ATF is red.
No, not ATF. ATS. It's whatever. Keep
I've
going.
never even heard of that.
American cars use
Probably
ATF.
not made in
so
America.
Yeah. All right, keep going.
Where was I? No,
It doesn't have a Hemi, I don't want it.
there's so many cars, so many Model S's on the road that it definitely requires more than one person in a service center to do all of this. I mean, we probably service 30 cars a day.
Really? That blows
which
me away
is-
that there's
Well,
that
Southern
many.
California, that's not that surprising.
Not
It is
yeah,
to me because I don't
if
see
you,
30 on the street. You know what I mean? Like if you think about it.
Well, yeah, but how many service centers are there in Southern California?
Maybe like 8,
Yeah.
maybe.
There's at least 3 at my work.
Really?
Yeah.
They're everywhere. I'm starting to see them more than like Camrys and Civics.
Really?
It's very surprising, especially with the price of it. You don't see like a S-Class Benz rolling around like every 30 seconds. My commute home, I'll probably see 3 of them in the carpool lane and that's like 4 miles on the freeway. So they're everywhere, and there's a lot of them.
Interesting. Yeah, I never realized the number was that high. Like that blows me away.
Mm-hmm.
What's the charge time on one?
That depends. Depends on what you're charging on. Supercharger will take you from 0 to a half charge.
Yeah, it will.
Yeah.
More like 0 to 100. Am I right?
The supercharger systems, which is free, if you buy one, it'll take you from 0 to a half charge in 40 minutes, somewhere around there.
And is this like something that they install at your house?
No, superchargers are certain locations that are, all over the world, actually. And it's sort of like a gas station. You pull in and there's a bunch of charger banks that you drive your car up to. You get the cable and you plug it into your car. That's it. And it'll charge.
So are those like Tesla specific?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because doesn't Tesla, some of the other cars, they use the big plugs, but
Mhm.
Tesla uses a smaller one, doesn't
Yeah.
it? Yeah.
It's their own.
It's their
their own
own
design.
like deal.
Proprietary.
but
it's not open source.
The car does come with an adapter for those public charging stations, so you can just plug your car into that. It charges a hell of a lot slower, but you can charge with anything from 110 volt, like your standard just wall plug at your house. It'll take well over 24 hours to charge it from dead, but this is a lot of options.
I was reading online that people are saying, like, what's the point in buying one, because what you're saving in gas, you're spending on your electric bill. Is that...
I wouldn't say that's true at all. I spoke with one customer who said since he bought his car, his electric bill went up $11, which is nothing. So
I guess if you do it at the right times,
yeah,
then it wouldn't make a big
don't charge during peak hours and things like that.
You have peak hours and stuff, so if you do it in the middle of the night, it probably won't make that much of a dent.
Yeah, not at all. I mean, and if you work at Tesla, you can plug in when you get to work, so
Well,
save you money there.
Dude, are they going to start making kind of like how you have those portable packs for your cell phone to like charge your phone? Are they going to start like you can keep one in your trunk in case of an emergency?
Like an emergency
That's what I'm saying.
gallon of
that's a really interesting concept. I've never heard of anything
like an
that.
emergency battery pack that's like solar powered that you can boom like get in there real quick and charge
I have
just
like
to get to
4 of them. But
what?
I have like 4 of them for phones and
that's what I'm saying. But
whatever,
like that for your
but
car.
I'm
sure
heard
there's
of
people making a lot more money than us and a lot more smarter than us that are already talking about this.
Or have already talked about why it's a bad idea.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how much money you make or how smart you are. It's whoever's first to market. So let's get on it.
There you go. Hey, Matt, you and me, bro.
But we're probably gonna have to do it before this episode releases.
Yeah, shit. We got a week.
Get on it. I'll help you out.
But
I'll call my Uncle Elon.
Uncle Elon. Hey, bro, he flies in on a jetpack. Did you see that Simpsons with Elon Musk? No?
I've never watched a single full episode of The Simpsons.
You need to get the fuck off my show.
Bro, look at me. I watch King of the Hill. That's my cartoon to watch.
No, The Simpsons, they had one with Elon Musk, and I talked about it on one episode, but it was like he was constantly like inventing things as he was like it was the joke of the show.
Just like wherever he went, he was just
wherever he went, he'd be like, "Ooh, if I take this cup, and I put these cups together," and like he was like constantly inventing things and it was the real Elon Musk.
He's definitely like Tony Stark. Like
really?
the real life Tony Stark.
It's insane.
At least the way I see it.
But like,
why are there arc reactors in my car then, bro?
Not as witty,
right?
But he seems very cool. I would definitely like to hang out with him at least once.
Has he come by your shop ever?
No.
Where's Tesla located? What's its home base?
Fremont. Actually, well, they're all up there. There's Fremont, California, and Deer Creek. I think Deer Creek is actually the headquarters. Bay Area, yeah, somewhere around 45 minutes.
Yeah, I was looking online for jobs at Tesla, and all the jobs are up there for my particular field.
A lot of them, yeah.
And I'm like, well, I guess that's out.
All the engineers are in one building.
Yep.
And it's really expensive to live up there.
Yeah, super expensive.
I mean, you could service the cars, but I feel like if I was an electrical engineer, I wouldn't want to work on cars.
Oh,
I like working on cars.
If you're pioneering it, you know what I mean? Like that's different than working on the same motor day in and day out. If you get to take a motor and add new things to it, that's something completely different.
Designing a motor and
that's engaging.
Putting a motor together is completely different.
You know, I was listening to the last podcast on the way over here just to re-listen to it, and I loved it when you were talking about the Porsche. And you're like, yeah, their engineers are great when they're not getting paid to redesign the same car over and over and over.
Actually, what they've done.
I was laughing.
The body style of the 911 hasn't changed drastically for like 30 years.
They put a crease here, so some dude made $10 million.
That's like on my Camry when my wife and I went to buy my Camry, and the salesman at the dealership points out this little tiny, I don't know, 1/4 of an inch tall little fin that's between the rearview mirror and the side of the car, and he tells me this is off of an F1 car. And I looked at it and I'm like, oh, yeah, sure it is, buddy.
Just so you know, bro.
See this little louver here? This is off of an F1 car.
Did you actually fiberglass from space?
Take my money.
Did you buy the Camry? Holy shit, I own an F1 car.
I mean, technically,
that's an extra $20,000 if you want it.
Technically, my Camry is a NASCAR.
It's a pace car.
No, but like they have Camrys in NASCAR. So.
They do.
Yeah, it's sort of sacrilegious, I think, but
therefore, by default, I drive a NASCAR.
Yep.
Hey, if
You just
Toyota
need to
wants
put the
compete
stickers
with
on it, dude.
Exactly.
That's it. That's all you need. Stickers add horsepower too.
Exactly. It's
Boom.
like what, 5 horsepower per sticker, or is it 10?
Depending on the size.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Numbers.
And the placement too.
Big numbers on the door.
Real
That's
quick,
15 per
real
number,
quick.
per
Are you
digit.
guys making a joke? Because I have no idea. Is this a joke?
Well, let's see, Jake. How much horsepower are you going to add by putting a sticker on the side of your
It's a
car?
joke. Well, I don't know. Maybe you put the sticker on and they give you money for that sticker, and you add horsepower by adding engine parts with the money they've given you for the stickers. That's where mine was going.
I guess that is one.
That's where my mind was
Jake's on
going.
another level.
Like-
I'm not even on that level.
That's seriously where my mind
Jake,
was.
you're 3 steps ahead.
I was thinking sponsorship dollars for
yeah,
the
you're
stickers.
way ahead. You're way ahead of me. This is why I turn wrenches.
You guys,
And
and
you
you guys,
talk.
and you guys were thinking, I get it now. I get.
It's like a car joke. It makes fun of the Rice Rocket.
Oh, that
guys
have,
that
the
have,
IBOC, like
They have like
iBox
500
IBOX
stickers.
free.
You know, you can go to Walmart and buy like a turbo logo. You should put that on your Prius. It'll be way
Have you seen
faster.
the one that? Have you seen
Way
the one
and
that's
a 4x4 logo just for good measure.
the sticker that says "Cool Prius" and then under it there's a dash and it says "Nobody." Like nobody's ever said that. And it's for you to put on Priuses.
Really?
Yeah. It says,
Okay, so
"Cool
it's like
Prius."
a
Nobody.
sarcasm Prius pride sort of thing.
Yeah, everybody knows about it. Like
Do they have Prius pride parades?
maybe.
Oh, you don't get like a newsletter just for owning one?
Well, they wanted me to take the hood off for the Prius Pride Parade to show a little,
okay.
a little bit of that.
That's
I just-
it's a little risque.
I wasn't happy putting him through that. My Prius is a man, by the way.
What's his name?
What's his name?
Mhm.
Ernie,
Ernie.
and he likes me and him.
Do you have a friend named Bert?
Maybe. I see where you're
I
going.
had to
with
make
this.
that joke. Had to.
So, it's a fact, not for some of the larger producers. I don't want what. Well, I don't want to keep naming car brands because I'll probably get in trouble. But for some of the larger EV retailers, for example, there's this company I've heard of from Japan. They sell 1 in 4 cars in the United States. Okay, and their EV sales are great.
Right.
But other EV sales, like the Volt and other types of cars like that, the EV sales aren't doing that hot. What's keeping Tesla, in your opinion, what's keeping them, the front runner? Is it because it's a sporty car? It's not like a dorky
I
looking
think
car?
they have a wildly different market though. Tesla does.
Could be.
Money-wise? Is that what you're saying?
Their market is
Affluent?
Yeah, affluent people. It's a luxury car. It's not, a family sedan that's affordable and I'm not going to be getting a Tesla for $100 a month or $150 a month.
You could in a few years.
Well,
They're coming out
They're
with
coming out with the lighter one, right?
Model 3.
That's what I was going to ask you. Hold on. Model X. What's the Model X?
In my opinion, start with that.
allegedly.
Apparently, it's a overweight, taller, wider Model S with Falcon wing doors that
So it's like the Mini Countryman. It's like
Really?
the Mini that they stuck an air pump to and inflated it.
Exactly. So it's their SUV. It's going to be dual motor, all-wheel drive.
Explain dual motor to me.
There's 2 electric motors. There's one
Okay,
in
no
the front,
shit.
one in the rear.
No shit. But what does that mean?
Explain dual motor to me. That just
Well,
I
okay,
don't know,
okay. Explain single motor to me. Well, there's one motor in the front. Like, I get that. But what does dual motor mean? Like, what is that?
Scott too.
What's your single board, like...
Imagine, an RC car.
Yeah.
You have your one little electric motor in the back. Now there's another one in front of, or in between the 2 front wheels, and there's one in between the 2 rear.
What
wheels.
is this for, though? Is it a failsafe? Can one give out?
No, it's now 4-wheel drive instead of rear-wheel drive, and I mean I don't know how I can elaborate more on that. There's
So much
it's
torque.
4-wheel drive.
The chassis twisted coming off the line.
By the
You did
time I
warn
was-
me that movie was quoted quite a
By
lot.
the time I was done, I couldn't even lift my arms. I did 3 years in Lompoc. I'll die before I go back. One of these days, Vin Diesel is gonna
Diesel
listen to
time.
this. He's gonna listen to this podcast and he's gonna be like, "What the fuck?"
He's not even gonna say anything. He's just gonna find where you are and he's
Yeah.
gonna eat you, and that's it for dinner.
pull up
It's
and
gonna be like,
he's gonna pull up in the Challenger and just like
He's gonna pull up and just like in I think it's the 4th one where he's like, "You just made a big mistake," and he like barely moves his mouth when he says it. He's gonna say that to you.
No, the best one's when he rolls up in Tokyo Drift.
Yeah, a giant American car that you'd
It was
never
like a
see in
Barracuda or
Tokyo.
something, wasn't
It
it?
wasn't a
Yeah,
Barracuda.
something
I
like
forget what
it was a
some
Mopar
Chevy.
car. I'm pretty sure.
I think it was a Chevy.
Could be. I don't really know old cars like that.
I haven't
Whatever.
seen that movie
Like
in a
I
while.
used to. We'll have to
watch.
watch it later.
After working with futuristic cars, you know what I mean? This guy's like, what the hell is that?
Yeah.
I work in the future.
It's like fuel injection.
What's gasoline?
Well, what about like the what's it called cars?
What's it called?
No, the new cars coming out. It's not running off of hydrogen cars,
Okay. Yeah.
because they're coming out with that new one that they're gonna like. The country is gonna pay federally funded dollars to put up these hydrogen banks around, and they're saying that's gonna take away the EV car.
Not
Nah, I
likely.
don't know.
I don't foresee that happening at
That's
all.
what I'm talking about it. I'm not saying it's fact and I know for sure. That's why
Yeah.
I'm trying to talk about
That'd
it.
be a tough fight.
Yeah, I mean,
Because they're saying like a full hydrogen tank is like 700 miles. That's what they're saying.
Yeah,
is
I
gonna
mean,
seal the deal.
it'll probably destroy, at least in the near term, the range of the EV cars. But
That was my contention with like buying an EV car. I was like, I'll buy a Tesla, and I was like, but I want to get 700 or 800 miles out of it. I don't want to get 240 miles out of it. You can't even go to Vegas.
the way I see it, my wife and I recently took a trip to Lake Tahoe in a Model S. And on top of my asshole driving, constantly being like on the throttle and racing everybody and everything like that, you still get 240 miles out of it. And your big iPad, like you said in there, you tell it where you want to go and it plans your trip according to where these supercharging stations are.
that's handy.
So we said, hey, we're going to Lake Tahoe, and it says, okay, you're gonna have to stop here, here, and here before you get to Lake Tahoe. Well, when you're on your trip, by the time you hit the time that you need to charge, you're pretty much ready to get out of the car and stretch your legs for a little bit. When you stop,
Listen to him selling it.
Right?
no,
By the time you're ready for a charge,
I think he's looking up for a
you're
promotion.
quite due for a stress-free break. Like
it's totally.
I think
my
he's looking to
opinion
move
because-
from service to marketing over here.
right,
real quick,
right.
real quick.
I can never do marketing though. I'm terrible with people, especially pissed off people. But no, you hit 2.5 hours onto your trip, and unless you're like a trucker or something,
Ready to
you're
take a dump,
you're
ready to
ready
do
to
this.
stop, take a dump. You're ready to go get some food, have a smoke if that's your thing, or electronic. You can vape or whatever. Because you like electronic things. You drive a Tesla. It's
Have you modified your
electricity is
vape?
my life.
Does it have a touchscreen on it? And can your vape
No.
get like 80
No, it
vapes
does
instead
not.
of 20 vapes?
My vape stops me from smoking cigarettes most of the time.
Well, did you see that thing where they took a cup? They took 2 cups. Did you see this video? And they had both cups were filled with the same amount of flies. There was like 100 flies under each cup. And one guy takes a puff of a cigarette and he blows the cigarette smoke under there and he lets it sit. And then the same guy blows vape smoke in there and he lets it sit. And within like 10 minutes, all of the vape smoke flies were dead and all of the tobacco smoke flies were still flying around.
It's such a stupid test.
Why?
I don't know. I just
It's a control group.
Flies,
You have a
'cause
control.
I don't
because
think
flies
that
are
that
close to
translates at
humans
all.
anatomically.
All right. Well, I'm
I
just
think
saying.
you'd have better luck with rats.
I'm just letting you know something real
Or
quick.
pigs.
100% of people that breathe oxygen die.
That's
so
true.
You can
Very
you can
true.
tell
heard that
me.
Very
fact
true.
before, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I read this whole thing about how like what if oxygen is actually poisonous and it slowly kills us.
Allegedly.
And everybody out there is like, aliens like, fuck Earth. Why are we gonna go to Earth? Like their atmosphere is poisonous. Like it kills them after 80 years. Like
Could be.
It was a really
Could be.
interesting, like thought-provoking topic.
Someone
You can get
said,
lost in that shit, man. Like
I
reading.
think I was like 18. Someone told me you'll never get out alive, and it wasn't, aimed at any sort of subject. It was just like, smoking's gonna kill you. The sun is gonna kill you. Driving a fast car, me driving a motorcycle or riding a motorcycle is gonna kill me. Too much stress, too much chocolate, too much Coke. Something's gonna kill you. You're never gonna get out alive.
Well, let's
So,
specify what type of Coke here. Are we talking Coca-Cola? Are we talking
I like to go skiing every
talking
once
some
in a while.
yayo? You know what I mean, bro? What well, that's funny because my dad always said a quote too that you can't take any of it with you.
Yeah.
And that's one of my favorite quotes ever. It's like, well, this is really nice, but we have the money, but should we spend the money on it right now? I'm like, who gives a shit? If you woke up dead tomorrow, you couldn't.
But you're not gonna wake up dead.
That's the whole point. But if you woke up,
go to bed dead and wake up alive.
if you wake up dead, you can't. That money is gonna go nowhere anyways.
Right.
So buy your little thing. Who cares? Like, you got your whole life to make money, you know. And it's one of those quotes, those few quotes. You know, another one was like, shit in one hand and want in the other. That was one my mom always said to me. Shit in one hand, want in the other. See which one fills up first. I'm like, well, good point. Like, when you're 3, you don't know what that means.
You might actually try it.
When you're 22, it's a completely different story.
You don't know what that means until your sister shoves your face into a bowl full of diarrhea.
Yeah, did you listen to the last podcast?
No.
No.
Well, actually, no. You know what I did? But having a 6-month-old baby, I saw like 15 minutes of it. I'm working on it. I'm working on seeing
Watch
all
some
of
them, dude. They're good. I'm telling you,
I
man.
totally
Or
started.
listen to it.
Like a week
or
ago.
listen to it.
On
You have an
your way to
iPhone.
work.
Download the podcast
I've got speakers inside of my helmet.
There
I could
you
just
go.
listen to it. I could just listen to it on my 17-minute commute to work.
Is that dangerous? Is that dangerous with the speakers in the headphones? Don't you have to be able to hear like sirens and stuff? Can you?
I can hear
outside?
sirens. I mean, if somebody wants to roll down their window and have a conversation with me on the freeway, no, I can't hear them. I wear earplugs inside of my ears, and then I have speakers playing music or talking on the phone.
Can you like a honk or something? If somebody can take you out, can you hear a honk?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, for the most part. I mean, generally, I'm going faster than traffic by 15 miles an hour.
Oh, what's it feel like, dude, to be such a badass?
It's not like that. I'm more.
You know that there's laws. I break them. Like
I'm
breaking hearts and breaking laws.
Ride like an asshole to avoid the assholes.
It's a good way to do it.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean, I haven't
Statistically,
gotten
you will crash.
Yeah.
So
and everyone, like all the biker people, they say it's not how you crash, it's when you crash.
Exactly.
Or it's not if you crash, it's when you crash. I haven't crashed yet. I've been hit by a taxi, and I just kept on going. But
God, taxis, man.
dude,
It's always a fucking Audi. No, Infinity. You see that movie when they're all bikers, like road bikers, and an Infinity pulls out and almost hits the whole group? It's with Paul Rudd, and he goes, "It's always a fucking Infinity" when they're riding the bikes.
never seen it. I'm definitely gonna look that up though.
Paul, it's one of his Paul Rudd movies. I don't know which one. What new models are they planning on coming out? They've got the sedan. They've got your cool little one. Are they coming out with like a
there's
two-seater and a?
Originally, the first car they made was the Roadster. If you know what a Lotus Elise looks like, it's loosely based off of that.
Aren't Lotuses only like 30 grand or something? Aren't they really
they're
expensive?
Fun when
65.
used for 40.
I thought they were really
new.
expensive.
The base model Elise, or it's probably not the Elise anymore, but the base model one's like 65, I think.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he drove in Pulp Fiction, the Wolf.
No, that was a
Lotus.
That was an Acura NSX.
Was it?
Yeah.
I thought it was a Lotus.
Mm-hmm. I know for a fact it was Acura NSX. Look it up.
Okay, keep talking. You guys keep talking. I'm gonna look this up real quick.
So there was originally the Roadster that's been discontinued. I think they only made like 2,000 of those. Then there's the Model S. We're on, I think, like 87,000 of those. And then there's the Model X, which will be the SUV.
Jake was wrong.
It was a 92 NSX.
You can't challenge car guy knowledge, especially in movies. I've Googled it. So they've got the Model X coming out, I think, late September of this year. Their future plan is the Model 3, which is going to be sort of like a Mazda 3, little 4-door hatchback economy car. Their aimed retail is going to be about 30 to 35,000.
Wow.
So
That's not bad at all.
That's not at all.
That'll be your get the general public on the EV program kind of car.
Are they gonna start making bigger cars, like SUV type cars for families, or can the batteries not handle it yet? Or
I was curious about that as well. I think someone actually asked Elon in an interview if they were going to make a truck or anything like that. It wasn't necessarily in his plans.
a truck would be sweet. Could you imagine that?
It would be super sweet. The problem is, I think aerodynamics, it would kill your range. I mean,
Can you put two
the car-
batteries on it?
maybe eventually. The car makes enough torque to where you could You could pull a fifth wheel if the
Does
car
it
could
tow
handle.
the space shuttle?
Maybe. I mean, it makes a gnarly amount of torque. So you could.
So
If
much
they
torque.
tried, they could make a torque truck. But right now they've got 3 models in the plans, and that's about it.
What about the autopilot feature? Do any cars have that yet? I was reading online about it.
Every new car as of maybe 4 months ago has the hardware for autopilot. But whether or not you paid for it,
You have to pay for it.
it comes in the tech package, I believe, which is something you pay for.
So the hardware's on the car regardless, but
Yeah.
it's just not enabled.
Yeah.
Can somebody like log on to like a national network like with satellites and like start shutting down Teslas if they wanted to? Like this car, boop, and your car shuts down when you're driving.
I don't know.
That would
I'd-
probably be a closely guarded secret.
Good answer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really. I don't know why I thought of
Closely
that,
guarded.
but I felt like that's something that should be
I might
asked.
be
I
black
mean-
bagged if I say anything other than I have no idea.
We'll talk offline.
I mean,
We'll talk off the air.
theoretically, the cars have an internet connection, so theoretically anything's possible.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I'm saying.
Because, I mean, you can hack into it. If it has a way to connect to the outside world, then it can be hacked.
What about like if you go through like lightning storms and stuff? You know how electronics get screwed up in lightning
Mhm.
storms and stuff. Does the car react at all?
I'm sure that would have already been on the headlines like 1,000
Yeah,
times if that was
I'm sure
possible.
that's
Most
designed
cars are
for it.
grounded anyways. If I remember correctly, right? If your car gets struck by lightning, it's grounded, so
It's not grounded.
nothing
No,
should
'cause you have
happen.
rubber
That's why
ti- you have rubber
you're safe.
tires.
You're not grounded.
You have rubber tires.
Okay, not grounded.
You're insulated.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there you go. That's the word.
Stupid.
That's
What-
why you wear those
The
gloves
strap.
and the strap and
Yeah.
everything. Is you're isolating yourself from the ground because that's what electricity flows to, is the ground.
Okay, so I went to like every guy that thinks he knows cars or electronics sort of mentality. You're grounded, so you won't get hurt. You know more than me, obviously.
Matt's brilliant, dude. I'm putting
Oh,
together.
I can tell just by looking at him.
I'm trying to put together.
I need to get that haircut
He's
so
saying-
people think that I'm
He's saying you
brilliant.
look like a nerd. Is what he's saying.
Well, I get paid to be a nerd, so that's fine.
We all can't rock.
Not at all.
We all can't rock the top knot like you, bro.
Top knot. I'm not even gonna try.
What? Did you see that video of that Volvo hitting people with a test pilot? Did you see that video?
So we on that note, we just got a new employee. His name's Roger.
His name's Unbloodbath.
Bloodbath.
We have Bloodbath 2, Unbloodbath.
He worked at Volvo for 30 years and then came here. And I think maybe his 3rd day here was when that video started popping up. And everyone was like, so why'd you leave Volvo? Was this you? Were you driving the car? Did you design that system? He's like, nope, I
you
had
see that
nothing to
video?
do with it.
They were
It's
like
awesome.
showing the test drive, so they had like a group of people standing in a straight line, and the car was supposed to drive and stop.
And it didn't stop.
And it says it accelerated through all the people.
Dude, it's gnarly.
It's a crazy video.
And this is the second video I've seen of a Volvo like auto braking thing just completely
going to
fail.
shit.
This one was way worse because people were involved, but
Now, this is public knowledge, so I'm sure you can talk about it.
Hope so.
Yeah. Well, the safety. They say it's the #1 safest car in America. But what about that whole thing that was going on a while back with the one cat caught on fire? Was that just a fluke because of? I mean, anything gets too hot. Your iPod gets too hot. You know what I mean? And it gets
Oh,
too
yeah.
hot and it turns itself off. But
Um,
what? And that was probably a one-off, 1 in a million. What was the?
as far as I know, I think 3 of them have caught fire in the entirety of Model S.
How many on the road, if you had to guesstimate?
How many Model S's on the road?
Yeah, if you had to throw a number out there.
Somewhere under 90,000.
Holy shit.
But that means the whole world,
Oh.
I think. Unless Europe doesn't have VIN numbers, which wouldn't make sense to me. But from what I've seen here, a little under 90,000. But unless more have caught fire, as far as I know, only 3 have caught fire, and all 3 of them were in serious accidents. One of them I think the most recent
See,
one.
that's
that
the
caught
shit
fire,
the media doesn't tell you. You know what I mean?
the
Oh, he was driving
car
uphill
was-
and it bursted on fire. It's like, I don't believe that.
Yeah.
Right?
The most recent one, the car was stolen. It was on the news. The car was stolen from a service center. The guy was running through L.A.
Let me
like
cut you off
100
real
mile-
quick. How do you steal one? What's the key like? Is it a push button start with a key fob?
You get in the car and you step on the brake, and it's on.
There's
But
no
you have
key
to
fob.
you have to have the key fob.
So you have to have a key. So it's like a
Yeah.
push button car.
Well, there's no push button. You
It's a
have the
key
key fob in your
Yeah.
pocket. There's no
So-
key act like.
Well, I'm not. That's what I'm saying. Like a push button car, like any type of new.
Well, it's like that. Yeah, you have the key in your pocket, your purse, your wallet, whatever you have, your man satchel. You get in the car, you step on the brake, you go. That's it. So this car was stolen from a service center. So somehow the guy got in, got the key to the car, found the car, got in the car, and left. He was running from the cops, and I think he lost control at like 100 and hit a pole, and the car broke in half. And then, the batteries inside that were now ruptured caught on fire. So
No, I'm not talking about that. That's like an accident. That's I'm talking about there was like that report of the one that was just driving and caught on fire.
I never heard anything about that. You might have to look it up for me.
Let me look this up here real quick.
Fact check.
Fact checking. I forgot what I was gonna ask. I was gonna ask something about Tesla, but I forgot. You got me.
cool company to work for?
Yeah.
Sure.
Do you enjoy it?
I love it.
Tesla.
It's fantastic.
Really?
Yeah.
Tell me about it.
Well, the benefits are ridiculous compared to the companies I've worked for prior.
Well, that's. I'm sorry. Now I remember what I was gonna ask you. Wasn't it like didn't Elon Musk? He took like a $500 million government loan and then paid it back. Like and the loans never get paid back or something like that, or it was on a 10-year plan and he paid it back in like 2 years or something
He paid
ridiculous.
it back ridiculously fast.
Yeah, that's how he got his start. Because five years ago or something, he was just a regular schmo with no money, and now he's like richer than God.
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, God might have the ability to make money, but then again, so Elon might too.
Exactly. He probably invented it.
What, money?
No, the way to make money. So
Could be.
yeah.
Could be.
Counterfeit
Could buzz.
God.
So real quick, back to the SpaceX program, only because I'm still not clear on what it is.
Right.
So what is it? It's privately funded. It's a privately funded space program.
Essentially, yeah.
So he wants to fly people to Mars or the moon, or what's the deal?
I think the ultimate goal is Mars, but right now they are using what's called the Falcon. Which, do you know what a Soyuz is?
What a what?
A Soyuz, the Russian rocket right now that is used to get to the space station. Because
No.
the shuttle is the shuttle's obviously decommissioned. So before, that's how America got to the space station, was through the space shuttle program.
Mm-hmm.
So after they decommissioned the shuttle, they started using the Russian Soyuz rocket, which is, it's like a 3-man pod that connects to the station and then falls back to Earth on its own. So essentially, the Falcon is the same kind of thing.
So he's trying to take over like the space program.
He's trying to privately fund the space program. Yes.
I believe he's actually helped out NASA.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, we used the Falcon a lot.
He's big into open sourcing. He's big with sharing his information. Like, which is cool.
because his goal isn't making money as far as I've seen. His goal is renewable energy
It's
and
better,
a better world,
bettering the
like
world, yeah.
making life
The-
better for people.
yeah,
If
future
I'm
of the
brilliant.
human
Why
race.
not apply it to that? Like,
which is why they're looking towards making a cheaper Teslas. They're not looking to, cater to affluent people and really rich people. They're just, they're looking towards renewable energy, something that doesn't involve paying for gas or anything like that.
what a trip, man.
Which brings the house battery into.
Yeah. Do you know anything about that?
Nothing at all. I know a little bit from his keynote speech and things like that.
Keynote speech.
Fancy words.
YouTube told me that. The YouTube.
I went on the YouTubes.
The Powerwall, the Tesla Powerwall, which you can find at teslaenergy.com.
Hey,
Plugging it.
It's something that I didn't really expect to come out. It's I don't know, it's like 2 feet wide, I don't know, 3 feet tall or something like that, and it goes on the wall of your garage or inside a wall at your house or things like that, and it's a battery for your house.
It was fun. I did the math because they're selling for $3,000 each, and I
That's
calculated
all it is $3,000.
But
the more expensive one's $3,500. That's it.
But I calculated all of my electric bills from last year, so my 2014 electric bills, and it was way cheaper than $3,000. So I was like, what?
That's
Well, I mean, it
when
depends.
you get into a house though, Jake. Your
That's
bill,
true,
your
huh?
bill quadruples.
Yeah, I mean, I live in an apartment, and our electric bill was $4 last month.
They owed us money last month. I think I'm on some program. I don't know what's going on, but we got the electric bill.
Did you accidentally buy solar panels?
I don't know. And it was like negative $32 for my electric bill. I was like,
Interesting.
excuse me. But it's been like that. It's been like that the last 5 months since we moved to Irvine.
That's crazy.
I haven't owed on an electric bill in
Really?
5 months.
That's nuts.
Yeah, Laura's freaking out. She's like, whatever's going on, just keep your mouth shut. Don't call Edison.
Shut up.
They're gonna call you in like.
Why are you?
They're gonna call you in
But,
2 months. You owe us $10,000.
Hey, listen, you're brain dead. Like, you owe us $10,000.
Our electric bill during the winter is $190, and during the summer it can reach like $350, $400.
The highest bill we ever paid was at the old apartment, and it was like $62, and I shit my pants.
That's a lot.
But we were running the AC nonstop. We had like a
Yeah,
But
and that's what does it is your AC. But like for a house, it makes total sense.
interesting.
I mean, you think it's super cheap. So it's like $3,000, $3,500.
And it's 10 years,
that's
right?
just for the battery, though. So if you want
Upsales.
if you want to,
If you want to actually use it,
I actually work for this other company.
It's another $5,000.
So I mean, you still have to get solar panels, and I believe there's a couple other electronics you have to purchase for it. But if you think about it, say your average homeowner wants to renovate their house or something. You want to put in new cabinets and like all new appliances. That's what, like $15,000 right there.
basically.
So if you're buying good stuff,
I have to reiterate what I said. I took my electric bill from last year and I multiplied it by 10, and I figured out that it was less than $3,000, which is what that battery's supposed to last you 10 years.
Okay.
So I should have specified that a little bit.
Oh,
more.
okay.
But
It wasn't
in an apartment setting, that'll be absolutely true because the space is smaller, the amount of usage is smaller.
Your space is
Yeah,
smaller.
I mean,
Take
if
it back. Sorry,
apartment-
homeowner. Sorry, I'm
just saying.
I'm a filthy
I
casual
don't like Jake. I don't like
pleb
paying,
apartment owner.
I don't like paying $300 a month in electricity.
It
sucks.
I'm not bragging.
I mean, if like an apartment complex owner put solar panels and Tesla Powerwalls there, or their business size battery that they make, I mean, everyone living there wouldn't pay electric.
That'd be
at all.
sweet. You just pay them like $20 a month. You know what I mean? Like
That would be their
whatever.
way of like monopolizing it. Yeah,
That's
but I mean,
brilliant.
it's totally free. So
But that'd be a cool thing to know though. Like, hey, you're moving in here. Electric's $20 a month. That's it.
mhm.
You know what I mean? Rather than like a fluctuating bill. Like, oh, is it
Yeah.
gonna be 60? Is it gonna be whatever?
Yeah,
because I
for
mean, you
sure.
got to cover the cost of the equipment, obviously. So
But yeah, I mean, so if you're gonna spend $15,000 on a bunch of cabinets and stuff for your house and appliances and stuff, you can spend the same amount of money or maybe less for solar panels and a power wall, and you're off the grid. You
Now,
don't ever have to pay electric again.
Do they come and set it up so that like all of the outlets in my house are now ran off of that battery?
I'm almost positive they would. I mean,
the way it works is it goes between your solar and your main breaker. That's how it works.
oh, okay.
So your breakers are fed off of the battery. So
And
your
they have,
solar
like-
goes to the battery, and then the battery goes to the breaker.
And the battery lasts 10 years. See, okay, now here's my confusion. And so you're not buying the battery. Boom, you put it on the wall. It's good for 10 years. You have to have the solar panels. See,
Yeah,
I was under
absolutely.
the assumption that the solar panels are after that 10 years are up. If you want to keep extending the life of the battery.
No, you have to have something to charge the battery with.
No, okay. See, that was my confusion. Like you're buying a 10-year battery. Boom, there you go. This is a 6-hour battery.
Right.
That's a 2-month battery. This is a 10-year battery,
No,
but it has to
no.
constantly be charged.
It's
Yeah,
10-year
no, it doesn't-
the 10-year lifespan is what it is.
Yeah, because you can't necessarily like quantify that this battery is gonna last for 10 years for anybody. 'Cause,
Yeah,
I
well, it
mean,
depends
like
on
a car
usage.
It's
dealership.
10-year lifespan is
Yeah.
what that number is. It's not the usage number.
If I'm gonna run my dryer 24/7, it's probably not gonna last me 10 years compared
Yeah.
to the person that runs it once a week.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Well, all of my questions are answered. Do you have any questions?
No, I think I'm good. We covered everything.
All right. Well, Want to thank you for being on the show.
Thank you for
I
the
thought it was
whiskey.
pretty good. Did you like it?
I love it.
It's good stuff.
I still have some more, so I'm going to continue enjoying this.
I think I got a little. You want to? How much you got left?
I don't know.
You have quite a bit left, actually. Never mind then. I was gonna say let's chug it.
It's good. It's good stuff, but I'm going to keep sipping it.
But you got quite a bit left. Okay, so Rick, thanks for being on the show.
Thank you for having me.
We have red cups tonight because I came directly from work, so I don't have nice glass cups. But we can try to cheers. Try to cheers me with that.
Don't break my cup. Cheers.
Okay, that's
Close.
a good.
Picked it up.
Did the audio pick it up?
Yeah.
All right, good. And so, Rick, thanks for being on the show, man. I enjoyed talking about it. Once again, guys, audibletrial.com/Whiskey Babble. Go to whiskeyBabble.com. Check out all the new merch we got.
Like some of it's pretty cool.
It's no. I said that at the beginning of the show. You guys can get flasks now. You can get shot glasses. You can get beer glasses.
Beer glasses. There's a cocktail shaker.
Boom.
I'm gonna go on the second I walk away from this table because I didn't know there was merch.
Oh yeah, we have a ton of stuff.
I have
Shirts,
sweatshirts and
jackets.
stuff.
I've watched
all
like
I've
kinds
got
of stuff.
shirts.
I've
Sweatshirts?
skimmed through 2 episodes while taking care of the baby and not seen merch. So something's wrong.
I
here.
wore one for like 2 episodes in a row.
Yeah, well, my eyes are going bad. Something.
The age.
It's the whiskey.
So,
That's
what else
it
is there?
Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff. There's
Baby gear. There's baby gear.
shit.
I don't think. Right now there is.
Oh,
there
never
will
mind.
be,
Never mind.
though.
Never mind.
There will be.
Rewind
soon.
it. Yeah, look yeah.
Soon.
So, anyways, back to Whiskey Babble.
Probably tomorrow.
Yeah, it's tomorrow.
Do it.
So whiskeyBabble.com, Facebook.com/WhiskeyBabble, YouTube.com/WhiskeyBabble, and Twitter @WhiskeyBabble. I'm gonna help Matt out and start getting more involved. He's gonna give me the password, so get ready
You
for
know the passwords.
get ready for me taking over. I forgot them already. I didn't save any of that. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm not gonna tell you while we're recording. So.
Oh, of course not. What were they again?
What's your social security
Hey,
number?
fix it in post. All right, guys. So thanks for listening. Whiskey Babble out.